Do you ever feel like you're backed into a corner? Standing there facing off with hounding energies that believe themselves to be truth. That are each and all asking you to believe their truth, like it's the only truth, like it's reality. Hi, I'm APOCALYPTA of Antidote Aesthetic. Here to work the quantum energy field to bring relief, bring circulation, support discharge to allow circulation. And I like to think of it when we feel really pressured, whether you experience it as being cornered or surrounded, maybe held in a chokehold, suffocated, strangled by life and the intensity of storylines asking you to surrender to and believe their truth and belong there. It's really intense, but I like to think of it as all the pressure, the overwhelm is pressuring us, overwhelming us back into our own center point position in our own body and energy bubble. To not have to give in to any of it, or to feel which one really rhymes with you, and that will be the thing that has the most opportunity for your evolution in the moment. For me today, I'm feeling so voidy, like not avoiding, but void as in, well, yeah, kind of avoiding everything, but it's also in the beingness of everything, which is really intense, really overwhelming, full of possibility. And also commanding a fullness of letting go. One of the storylines for me in this being cornered is feeling stories of limited resources and projections of stories of limited resources. While also in this corner and in the void, in the nothingness and everythingness, feeling the infinitely resourced aspect of my own reality. You know, that we are co-creators, that life is reflecting to us what we believe and our frequency. Hey! You'll definitely hear dogs in my videos sometimes. There's 5 of them around me at this exact moment. And they tend to, that growling came right as I was speaking to moving energy with being infinitely resourced. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of growling towards that, because that is freedom and that is sovereignty. And that challenges a lot of narratives on Earth. I feel that growling in myself. I watch the way I'm putting sentences together and I see how I'm repeating limited narratives even though I'm also in this huge awareness of being infinitely resourced. Just realizing I forgot to put my rings on. But it is this forgetting. And no longer, it's like a shift of the forgetting. Forgetting the attachment to the limited stories, as opposed to forgetting the true deep reality of being infinitely resourced. We have to start forgetting, letting go of, becoming less familiar with, because our egos are obsessed with what's familiar. That's why I see those sentences coming out, because they've been repeated, because I've heard them so much, because they're familiar. And so the ego is always trying to protect us by positioning us in what's familiar, for that belonging, for that version of protection. But honestly, obliterate it all. To be relieved into the fullness of the infinitely resourced, true deep reality of your authentic, naturally energy master self. In your flexibility and openness, which is your authentic state in this human body as a soul, as a human body inhabiting this huge soul. We are so infinitely resourced. So I want to go to the parts of us, to the ego that feels like it has to hold on. Just bring some warmth and attention and relief there. Like, I promise you, ego, you're going to really like it. This retirement mode of being infinitely resourced. Being anchored in the infinitely resourced storyline instead. Like, I promise you, you're going to love the lounge chair with your favorite drink buffet. And the favorite drink buffet reflects what's really needed and nourishing in your body. And that is what your cravings and your desires become in this infinitely resourced reality, where alignment, where health, wealth, love, and happiness all align and complement rather than conflict. I want to bring relief. It's funny, the little puppies are just playing with a Spider-Man mask, like one that fully pulls over. And actually, that's reminding me of somebody texted me before bed last night that there were some robberies in our little town. Masked robbers with pepper spray went to a few different stores. And I was like, that sounds really messy and desperate, and like maybe robberies always are. But the puppies were just, my son wore a Spider-Man full head mask last night for Halloween, and the puppies were just playing with it on the floor there, 6 weeks old. But it's like we're wrestling with the masks that we've worn from a desperate place. And the ego is kind of like, let's not ruin the mask, we might need it. Actually, let's put it on right now to keep doing the familiar thing. I like what my fingers just did. It was like it's really reaching through and into this web to tickle the pieces that are attached to the desperate stories. Come out wherever you are, you know. You are, like, I celebrate how awesome you are at hiding and lingering and showing up as things are about to shift. And taking actions that are, like, you know, in their own way, bold and brave, but still desperate. We don't have to live like that. We can keep living like that. Chewy. Chewy's my big dog. We don't have to perpetuate the desperation. But our ego will, if we let it, because that's familiar. Because most of us grew up with people who were coming through from living in desperation in many different ways. So let's just really breathe. Move some energy with that word desperate. Desperation. I'm going to ask you to consciously plug into the earth. Whether you see that as a big grounding cord coming out of the bottom of your spine, platinum, plugging into the earth. Whether you see that as a cord with a, electric, like a regular cord that plugs into the wall. If you see that, plugging it into the earth, or you see roots coming through your lower body or the bottom of your feet, weaving their way into the earth. Or if you experience your energy as this waterfall flowing through your lower body and into the earth, all of that counts, okay? Trust what comes to you, or play with them all. And now we're going to take a big inhale and forcefully blow through the top of our head like a whale, like with so much power, strength, pressure. We're going to let the pressure burst through the top of our heads, and it's going to go all the way up into source, okay? It's already happened. It's already there. Really, really, really let go of so much of that pressure in your head, in your body. Giving it back to source, letting the thought forms, letting the feelings recycle with the earth, the thought forms recycle with source, becoming the blank slate, letting yourself feel cornered, and remembering that you can do that. Plug in, circulate the energy. Let go at the risk of feeling blank. And again, resistance, little bear, come on, man. The older dogs are defensive towards the puppies, even though they were just playing. And what I said was becoming blank. And then there was that aggressive noise. And it's like, that's what goes on in our system, is like we have been trained to resist and to shut down, to forcefully shut down the innocence in us that is completely okay with being a blank slate, moment by moment or again and again, of the mystery, like available to life, available to hear, like just what's the next step for me to be well, for me to be in service? What do I authentically need to be in my highest frequency or my highest timeline? Right now, that's all I need to know. But instead, we try to collect and defend our plans, our structures, our knowing of what's next and what's coming. We try to control. And I'm seeing that, I can hear now that dog that was aggressive is chewing on a bone. Okay, so he was like, nah, this is my bone. But it's like, yeah, we're possessive and protective about our favorite things or the things that we believe that we want or need. And that's a situation of strife. It's a situation of scarcity, of feeling like I have to protect this or else I may not have any. I may not have the thing that I like or that I need. That's not a story of being infinitely resourced. Infinitely resourced would look like, hey man, yeah, here's this bone, no problem. There'll be another one for me. And eventually it will be like that. That dog's going to move on. One of the other dogs will come along and grab that bone. But right now there's an animalistic, like a lizard brain fixation on this thing. It's mine. I like it. It's mine. And so when the cornered or the overwhelmed can be even more overwhelming. As our favorites, as our favorite things, or the things that we really think we need or that we want are threatened. Is it really threatened? Or are we threatened in our fixation, forgetting our infinitely resourced truth? That's probably the most threatening thing we experience day in and day out, is the forgetting, the fixation elsewhere other than moment by moment being available and in the frequency of infinitely resourced. That's the only thing holding us back. So my invitation to you is to notice. Notice where you're telling limiting stories and notice the subtleties. And every time you notice, plug into the earth, plug in up above. And I'll keep reminding you if you keep showing up for these videos, or if you come play in kindergarten, which is a membership, all ages membership, for remembering your super self, which is the innocence, the void space, the infinitely resourced, I have nothing to worry about self. And practicing speaking and acting from there, moving enough energy where that becomes easy, fully embodied, authentic, nothing to worry about. And the information for kindergarten is, of course, in the description box below. I usually forget to say this too, like if these videos are meaningful to you, if you like them, especially if you stick around to the end, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Help this channel to grow so that we get borrowing benefits. When we are moving energy together, it amplifies the movement of energy. And so we're actually making it easier and easier for each other to remember how infinitely resourced we are as we gather like this, as we move energy like this. We're building a field of ease for remembering, for embodying, for bringing all of our parts online into this alignment of infinitely resourced, of taking any opportunity backed into a corner, surrounded. Oh, what a brilliant opportunity for dropping back in. The pressure of the corner or the being surrounded is going to shift instantly. Maybe another layer of overwhelm of then possibility, as opposed to impossibility, then becomes overwhelming possibility. We do it again. And as we plug in and let energy move authentically through us, as we let our circuitry be connected below with the earth and above with the center of the cosmos, the center of all of creation, then we'll hear the next step. We'll hear the wisdom in the now. We'll hear what the need is now. There isn't so much thinking and figuring, which relieves this part of the mind. The information drops in through the higher mind, and then we can project it. What we receive, like, oh, this is the next step. This is actually like a beautiful projector. And we project it, and it's like Abraham Hicks' segment intending, where then okay, this is the next step. Brilliant. There it is. Oh, I see the pieces and I easily move into it because my senses and my faculties aren't bombarded with the next 100 steps and the next 20 years and how this moment has to go for everything to work out. And if it doesn't go like that, then everything is ruined and I am fucked. You know, that impossible sense of you're brilliant. Like that's still coming through this incredible awareness faculty of being able to sense through time and space. You are an authentic quantum energy master. But we are not groomed to respect our own faculties. So we're getting together in these videos to reorganize our respect for our own authentic energy mastery faculties. And that's what I'm doing in the DCFO Unschool, is giving even more intimate experiential opportunity for remembering, respecting, reorchestrating your focus and your flow to respect yourself as an authentic energy master. Reconditioning, reparenting. Because you're worth it. And because getting together, doing this, makes it easier and easier. And if this frequency spreads, it becomes the common reality. Imagine a landscape of people feeling easy in themselves, of having their moment by moment needs met, of following the wisdom coming through their bodies, joyfully engaged with their next step, as opposed to rigid and controlling, trying to navigate the narratives of scarcity, which most of us still are in many, many ways. I know I'm not fully out of that. That's what inspired this video, was feeling cornered. And so we get together here to relate, because that brings relief. We have to relate to our own experience to let the energy fully flow. And then we get even more permission for flow when we're not only relating with our own experience, but when we are relating with our own experience and then someone else is like, oh yeah, I know exactly that. And then we're flowing together, and that builds, it amplifies the momentum of the flow. And it's important for us to keep grounding, to keep plugging in above and below to handle the flow, because it's high sensation to be easy. It's high sensation to be really flowing. Similar to it's high sensation to be in pain and scarcity. But that version of reality persists when we don't plug in often enough, when we are not respecting our own electric circuitry. So let's freaking respect our electric circuitry, babies. Thank you for doing this here with me today. I feel a fuckload better. And by better, I mean like just easier, more relaxed, more at peace with the possibility. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Big golden infinity sign, center of the psyche, center of the heart, and soul center, sacral center. You beautiful, beautiful, beautiful being. Thank you, thank you, thank you.